Hello and welcome to the channel. If you're new, welcome back if you're returning. And if you are new, I am N.L. Heiser. I am an indie author, and this is the roadmap to release a series designed specifically for aspiring authors like you. So buckle up and let's get into episode 2. Alright, so in the roadmap to release series, I'm giving you a step-by-step game plan of what to do if you want to write and publish a book. Because there is so much information out there and it can be incredibly overwhelming. I started my author journey in 2016 or 2017, somewhere around there. And I was very thankful that uh, my goddaughter actually introduced me to YouTube. At the time, I thought it was just music videos. I'm elder millennial. Forgive me. But my goddaughter showed me that it is far more than that. And I kind of went down the rabbit hole of just looking up random things I was interested in. And I've been writing since I was 6 years old. And I came across the writing and author community here on AuthorTube. And it changed my life. I found other authors. I found authors who were independently published, and I didn't even know what that was. I found so many authors I could look up to, and I could see how they were doing things, and the software they were using, and the techniques they were using, and all of the tips they gave on how to actually publish as an independent author and be self-published instead of going traditionally published. Um, but there are tons of videos here on AuthorTube as well for those of you who want to go the traditional route and query and all of that. I know a little bit about it because I have several author friends who are either hybrid, which is indie and trad both, or they are trad published. So I know a little bit, but I don't know a whole lot about it. But I do know a ton about indie publishing because I am officially published now. I have been since 2020 and I have published multiple things. So in episode 1, I covered the dozen or so questions that you're probably asking yourself right now as a as an aspiring author who wants to one day write and publish a book. There are so many questions running through your mind. So if you are an aspiring author and you're just finding this video, please go back to episode 1. I will put the card up on the screen so you can go check it out. Please forgive the lighting and the very poor video editing. I was working with what I had, but they are going to be a little bit better now. I am still not great at video editing, but I am improving and I am getting lighting and angling better. And today I have myself angled at my new desk with my bookshelves behind me, so I am getting a little better at this. One of the tips I also received from that video was to speak louder, so I'm going to try to make sure that I am speaking louder, and when I go into editing, I will raise the volume of my voice if I need to as well. So if there is any type of tips like that you can give me that doesn't require me spending a bunch of money on software or film equipment or something, please let me know in the comments, because I don't know. But in episode 1, I covered a load of questions that are roaming through your brain. Episode 2 here today, I am going to cover the idea book. Now, this is the first episode in 4 parts of the brainstorming process. I'm just looking at my notes here of my list of episodes for this series. So in this episode, I'm going to cover the idea book. This is my idea book. This is a huge part of my story creation process because we may get, if especially if you're like me, a random scene that pops into your head. You could get a certain character that their dialogue or their personality, their names even pops into your head. You can get inspiration from a random picture. It could be so many different things. And those individual things are not enough to create a story, to write a book on. But that's where the idea book comes in. This is the first step. Now, this is, I believe it was supposed to be a Bible studying journal. I am not religious, nothing like that. I wanted a leather bound journal that had tons of pages. Because what you're going to do is you're going to get you a good, big, thick boy journal. And in the first half of this journal, you're going to make lists. So the lists are going to be like what I can't resist. So, what are elements of stories that as soon as you hear that a book or a show or a movie has or is about or is around, you immediately have to read or watch or consume that. For me, it's witches, haunted houses, vampires, werewolves, any type of magic, flirtatious, sarcastic smartasses, or peak elves, dragons, cyborgs or robot sidekicks, badass heroines, zombies, ghosts, aliens, psychological or supernatural twists, assassins, reluctant heroes, morally gray characters, monsters, and more. Now, you're going to make a ton of lists in this first half of your journal. And then what you're going to do is each thing on that list, you're going to make a page or 2 or 3, and you're going to pull images from books, shows, films, anime, anything in between that represent that element. This is badass heroines, so you can see um, this is Alice from Resident Evil, Blair. This is Ripley. This is Letty from Fast and the Furious. This is Celine from Underworld. Badass heroines. And you will see I need to come in and update a bunch of mine. Do the same for each one of your things on your list. And then you're going to move to another list. Now, like I said, you're going to make your list, you're going to take images, and you're going to write down all of the things that make that element something that you are obsessed with. Why are you obsessed with haunted houses? Why are you obsessed with flirtatious, sarcastic smartasses? Why are you obsessed with ghosts or dragons or zombies? Why? Write down everything. Just nerd out about it. And then you're going to do that for every one of them. And then you're going to write more lists. Let's see here. Where's the next list? I have one here that's movies, movie series, shows, and TV series I can't get enough of. So these are ones I will binge, do a full marathon of at any time, just drop of a hat. Yes, I have watched them 50 times. I will watch them and enjoy them and love them yet again. Aliens, Predators, Resident Evil, Underworld, Expendables, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Criminal Minds, Cirque du Soleil, Phantom of the Opera, Matchmaker Santa, Jeepers Creepers, Misery, Avatar, so on and so on. And again, you're going to take images offline, tape them in, and then you're going to say what you love about that movie, series, TV show, what you love about it. What makes it so bingeable and rewatchable for you. And you're going to do that for every single one. And you're going to continue to make so many more lists. Let's see here. I have so many lists in here. Movies, shows, books that forever live in my brain. Things that have scenes or characters or just moments that have ingrained themselves in my brain, and they will just pop up occasionally, and I'll be, I'll want to cry or ugh, or whatever. Seven Deadly. Well, the movie was called Seven. The Bone Collector, Pet Cemetery, Children of the Corn, 127 Hours, Final Destination, Cloud Atlas. So many things. Again, go through each one on your list and say why. My favorite authors, poets, writers, and then go through your list one by one and say why do you like them? Why do you like their writing, their characters, their settings, their worlds? Their voice. What really scares me? Heights, drowning, losing control, and stories, paranormal entities. The sound of a ghost or spirit running at me up the stairs when I can't see, running at me and or running up the stairs when I can't see what's running. Uh, and of course, I'm a mom, so my daughter being hurt or killed or missing. And then what about that really triggers that fear for you? What really makes you happy? Um, like one of my top things that really makes me happy about films, books, shows. I love when watching or reading a story for the 50 millionth time and I still notice something I hadn't before, and the subplot threads connect and a bigger picture evolves or reveals itself. I love when a book or movie series has a symbol or insignia everyone recognizes. Like Hunger Games is the bird pen. Uh, Lord of the Rings, it's Gandalf's signature. I love crumbled ruins of old towers and structures that have their own name. I love teams that become family. Odd things that draw me in: sharks, raptors, snakes. When you must choose to lose a loved one all over again for the greater good. When the bad guy sacrifices himself for the good guys. When a friend challenges and annoys you, but no matter what, you still love them. My favorite video games. My favorite tropes. Favorite magical creatures. My most hated tropes, because right now what you hate about certain elements or certain tropes also helps you because you can learn how to flip it. And if you see bugs flying around, there there's some flies that keep getting in my window and I haven't found out how yet. uh, I don't know if it's this window or another window, um, but they keep getting in somehow, but I'm finding it, so don't worry. Um, but being able to know what tropes you hate so you can twist it on its head and make it a trope that you actually love. Like, I don't normally like love triangles because look at Twilight, for instance. That love triangle sucks. I hate it. But if you have a love triangle where the say it's a girlfriend boyfriend situation and a boyfriend, he's not a bad guy, he's not abusive or anything, he just whatever. He's very vanilla, but you're with him because it's the first good relationship you've had for a long time. And then you get introduced to this other guy. The character gets introduced to this other guy who is everything you wish your boyfriend was. And he also is a healthy relationship. He's not toxic, he's not abusive, he's understanding, he listens, he pays attention, he does the little things, and he's not vanilla in any way, shape, or form. That is an interesting love triangle because then you have to fight, the main character has to fight on whether to go with the safe option or to go with this new option that it could turn out bad. She's been with this safe guy for 3 years, and yeah, it hasn't gone anywhere, but it's safe. She knows him. She knows he's not going to hurt her or cheat on her or anything like that. Going out with someone else, you don't know. And there's so many different things you could do with that. I don't like love triangles, but there are ways to make love triangles work really well. There are several of the tropes that you hate that you can flip on its head and make work really well. Things and stories that scare me and why. Uh, my top 10 magic systems that I love. Movies, books, shows that scare the hell out of me when I was a kid and why. Potential character names. Favorite magical creatures and or beings. Um, you're just going to make list after list. Things that make me weep like a baby. Like a character dying, protecting another character that they're in love with. That will wreck me every single time. Um, Opening line ideas. You can even make a list of opening line ideas. Like one of them is same first and last line of the book. Best epic battle scenes that I love. Most surprising story twists. What makes me binge a series. What makes it level 10 steamy. You take the first half of this idea book and you write all of these lists and you break down each thing that you write down for the list. Why that thing? And then the second half of the book, it's for your ideas, for when a certain line pops in your head, write it down. A certain scene pops in your head, write it down. A certain character's name or attitude or personality or whatever pops in your head, write it down. A certain world piece, write it down. Write everything down. Because you don't write a book for one of those pieces. You get a bunch of pieces that can work together in a really interesting way and build a story. That's how you do it. And when you do the work on all of these lists, you're really going to learn what you love the most about books, films, shows, and everything in between, what you really don't like, and how you would do it differently. and it's going to give you a lot of ideas going forward, but it's also going to help you craft a story that you are passionate about and that you actually love. Because we don't write to market, we write books that we love. We write books that aren't out there that we can't read, so we're going to write it ourselves. Remember, you're going to have to sit down and write this book. You're going to have to revise and self edit this book several times. You're going to have to reread this book several times. So make it a book that you will love. I am working on the first book in my adult high grimdark fantasy series, and there is one scene in it that I cried so hard while I was writing it that I had to stop 3 times to take a break to compose myself to finish writing it. And every single time I have reread it or edited or revised it, every single time I have cried. There's another scene that it has made me cry, not that much, not an ugly cry, but it still really makes me cry every time. You're going to have to reread and revise and edit your story so many times. So make a story that you will love and you will remain passionate about through all of it. Also, it is a hell of a lot easier to market a book you're passionate about and you're in love with, that you can geek out about, than it is to market a book that you're just like, eh. And marketing sucks. Make it a little bit easier for yourself, okay? Now, I will see you back here next month for episode 3. In episode 3, we are going to continue the brainstorming process, but we're going to go to the marker board. So, we are going to be using some of the things you learned today for the idea book in the marker board episode 3. So, your homework, if you're an aspiring author out there, you're going to have homework throughout this entire series. You want to write and publish a book? Get to it. This is how you do it. You watch episode 1, you take notes. You watch episode 2, you take notes. You take notes for every episode and you do the homework. Episode 2, homework. I want you to go get you a journal, a thick boy, okay? With tons of pages. And I want you to get creative. I want you to split it up so that the first half or the back half is just for your story ideas, and the first half is all for your lists. And I want you to, all of the lists that I said today, write them down in your journal and come up with some of your own. And like I said, everything that you put on your list, break down why that thing, why it works for you, what movie, book, or show did that but didn't work and why. Write all of that down. That's your homework for the next month for episode 2. Get you an idea journal, get you an idea book, and start working now. This is so fun to do because you get to just sit down and geek out. And I have a lot of catching up on mine. I have so many ideas back here. I stopped myself from filling in more of my lists because I have enough book ideas already planned, like fully fleshed out story ideas already planned, that it's going to take me the next almost 10 years to write all of those. So I stopped myself, but I am going to let myself go back and have some fun fleshing out some of these lists. So that's your homework. Get to it, and I will see you next time. And if you have any friends who are aspiring authors as well, please share this series with them. Again, I'm going to pop up the playlist for the series up here. This video is going to go directly into that playlist. So share this series with your aspiring author friends. Get together, create a group. I'm going to have tons of tips and tons of things that are going to help you step by step in this process. I am literally taking you step by step from the story idea, the brainstorming, the little details that you need to know about the author part of it and the publishing part of it. I'm going to uh, give you tips for revising and editing and software for writing and all of things. I'm even going to show you step by step on screen how to publish your book. Literally publish your book on KDP, which is Amazon, Draft to Digital, which is a place where you're going to go wide. You can do Draft to Digital and send it to Amazon. It will go to Barnes and Noble, so it will actually be in the Barnes and Noble store, and Apple Books and Nook, and I think there's like 15 different places that once you publish it on Draft to Digital and you click each thing over, your book is published to all of those places. I'm going to show you how to do it all. Okay? I'm going to show you how to hire a cover artist, or what you should look for in a cover artist, or what elements you need to include in your cover art for marketability. Same goes for character art. Same goes for finding and hiring a formatter, an editor, what to do when you get that back. All of the things step by step. Plus, at the very end of the series, I am going to tell you the mistakes I've made along my author journey and how you can avoid them. So stay tuned, buckle up, do your homework, and I will see you next month. Bye, Wicked Readers.